Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. It's been a couple of episodes that I have been running around in the area here of the Bloodgrove. First, of course, the Bloodgrove itself. Then Fort Heron up there. Now we're finally moving on towards Darkvale. Already briefly accidentally touched it in a previous episode, but now we're probably gonna go there and take out Karroz, Sigil of Cthulhu. One of the local head honchos, maybe even the head honcho. Our informants in the Black Legion were not quite sure of what he was, except that he was dangerous. Ooh, ding 40. So, Nightblade. Let's see, we have our motor skills maxed. Let's see, pneumatic burst, we have it maxed now. So we now have maximum tankage. Let's see, this was some elemental resistance, but we don't strictly need it. This was some avoidance and some defensive ability, which might be useful. Shadow Strike, of course. There's just so many options and so little time. The Veil of Shadow is active most of the time. Well, all the time, actually. So, for now, let's boost this. It's produce their offensive ability, so hit chance is gonna be less, crit chance is gonna be less. So that is a pretty decent compensation for the fact that my defensive ability is not as high as it ought to be. And also slowing down enemies means they move slower and attack slower. And extra radius on the area is always a good win. Oh no, Aveline's notes, page 3. Makes you wonder what happened to Aveline if the notes have been scattered among her fellow Bloodsworn cultists. Rather tragic story, Aveline's story. A mother. She actually had a husband, and I think they even had some children. They were caught in the Grim Dawn. Didn't really have anywhere to go. And the cult of Cthulhu was actually kind enough to take them in with the friends and all, with their children and all. And in exchange for that, no, all they really wanted was for them to worship Cthulhu and participate in the rituals and give a little blood. And it just slowly went from there. She, first she was just thankful, then she kind of became a pretty fanatical devotee. And I think in the end she started prioritizing Cthulhu above her own family. So, yeah. Tragic. On the other hand, the game's called Grim Dawn. You would not expect stories of puppies and unicorns. This is not the game for that. Interesting bit is that my regeneration, the passive regeneration that's not even from the pneumatic burst, seems to help out quite a bit as well. But maybe this is just the silence before the storm. which reminds me, let's put up a portal. I actually thought of it, or thinking of potential impending doom thought made me think of it. So it's just, I think I should just probably just do that more often. Impending doom. Peacekeeper Chambers journal. Somewhere up there. It's quite a trip around here though. Yes, let's go inside of here. I want a journal. Also, we're being stalked. So I don't particularly remember what Peacekeeper Chamber was all about. So I'm actually pretty curious. Okay, let's have a peek. Journal, journal, journal. Where were you? You, stop doing that. Right. Travel notes. Yeah, bad stuff's coming. Yep. Peacekeeper Chamber. Yeah, just a peacekeeper complaining about what's coming. He fears a evil has taken root in Darkvale. He was right about that. The level of interest I have in the different lore segments, it varies. If it's no interesting personal journals, then those are fun to read. No, if there's, well, like with Aveline, no, getting slowly turned in a couple of journal pages to join the cultists. Well, that's interesting to read. That's a fun thing. But no, just the local peacekeeper complaining about stuff. Yeah, that's a part of the background of the story, but it's not actually the story itself. So was Zarya as a devotee of the Bloodlord. Also, there's a whole bunch of cultists down there. I think we cannot just leave them be. They need to die. We show the moose boss. Now let's cross the bridge over here. Plop down a portal. Let's see what else we have here. There's a shrine up there. The bathhouse. And the question becomes, what's up with the bathhouse? The process of collecting blood was so slow it was driving me crazy, so I set up a 2-tank system, then rigged the public bathhouse plumbing with a drain switch. Now we can drain the water from the tubs back into the water tank. But when I flip the switch, the drain will go into the second tank, where the blood can be stored. However, the pulley system with hooks was the crowning accomplishment. It hides out of sight when not in use, but when we are ready for sacrifices. Zarya has provided me with nightshade root to dissolve with the bath salts. Combined with the hot water, it should lull our guests to sleep. Then we drain the water, perform the rites, flip the switch and collect the offerings, without spilling a single drop. It took some effort, but I'm proud of what I have set up. It is the first step to mass collections and will speed up the process. I cannot wait to tell the other. Harold Feldren, Darkvale Carpenter. Well, it's the people get very creative when it comes to performing unspeakable acts, and I think they can go up here, cross the bridge, and go in here. The map suggested it was not connected. Actually, it was. But we get loot. As long as I get loot, I'm not gonna ask many questions. A very simple adventurer in that regards. Also, a desecrated shrine. Let's start the encounter. Chthonian Harbingers and Bloodletters. So, they hurt a bit. A fair bit. And we have a devotion point. Cool. We were still busy completing the assassin. I think this is the last one. So now we have quite some points. Was an Empyrean somewhere? Because aren't we as a chosen of Kaiman, aren't we kind of morally obligated to side with Empyrean? Amatok, the Spirit Avatar, Tree of Life. Rowan's Scepter, Leviathan, Blind Sage. I thought Empyrean was one of the great ones. Abomination. Olzwin's Torch, Dying God. Yeah. Completely overlooking it. Okay. It's probably somewhere obvious. But yeah. Oh, Light of Empyrean. Ah, yes, of course, this was it. So we should, right? 20% chance when hit by a melee attack to do some damage, some fire, some burning, confuse targets, reduce their armor, and do extra damage to undead and chthonics. Not quite bad. Also, healing rain or Tree of Life, and there was a that eventually gives the healing rain 25% chance when hit to kick in some more health regen. That's pretty nice, actually. I like those kinds of abilities that just help you stay alive. The longer a battle lasts, the more benefit you're gonna get from it. Also, I see a star on the map. That means we're getting close. We have to go in. Here, Zarya the Carver. Actually, pretty tanky. Do some blade swirling. Also, I probably want to take out these shards since they probably hurt quite a bit. It's always the problem with these guys.
That skill's not ready.
Not so tough without those stones, are you, Zarya? Also, man, that's a lot of loot. Proper loot explosion. Okay, now we're gonna look for Zarya's boss, Karroz. Also, we have gates, which we can use to go back, sell stuff. So I think we've been picking up a lot of items.
See anything you like?
Mostly scepters and less useful stuff like that. Swords that are not upgrades, which is also unfortunate. Journal. Guns and stuff. See, it's really easy to get full on items. I think I'm actually gonna up the loot filter now. Only show the green ones. That way we only get the stuff that really stands out, that has a potential to be exceptional. So, yellow becomes green.
See you around.
Let's see, we have another of the journals. Hey, and we move on. So I had about 70,000 iron bits. That's quite some, especially if you don't really do a lot with the money except for crafting the odd relic or crafting material. And that's very fine. It's good for buying most of the blueprints that you encounter. So let's focus on loot, more on progress. I think I eventually did it in my previous playthrough as well. But once you have enough money, then there's no point in getting much more. They were dead, but I'm not quite aware of it. And then the question is, where is Karroz going to be? I thought he would be in this area somewhere. We'll see. This is Darnach. That's a different guy.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, let's do some blade hoovering. And there it gets. Also, give me my iron bits. Okay. Onwards we go. They make sigils on the floor. Let's avoid them. Ooh, Goliath signet. That sounds like it will involve wrecking faces in some kind of way. What do you do? Physical damage, internal trauma, bleeding, get some physique, attack speed, and 2 skills we don't have, upheaval and cadence. Sounds like it's soldier related. But if you're gonna go very aggressive, that ring seems appropriate. Another tome there. Oh, I can actually just get in there from the sides. Oh, you guys all coming in here. Okay, we'll go this way then. Fine. Okay. Blood for Tom. I think that was the entire point of the whole Chthonian worship thing, that he wanted blood. Blood for the blood gods. I'm not quite sure if they also go as far as to say skulls for the skull throne. But hey, different worlds. Different lore. Okay. So far, so good. Everett, the Bloodbound. So they've got dynamite. I want it. This does not seem to be the way to get there. What am I missing? What am I missing? Okay, so then we actually have to cross back over and walk around. Seems convoluted, but that's level design for you. And suddenly everyone is throwing their vitality damage bolts at me. Aren't I lucky? You know the phrase sharing is caring? Guess they just care that they're gonna share all those vitality balls with me. They wish me a long and healthy future. That must be it. It's just their way of blessing me. They're just a bit clumsy. But at least they're being sincere. Yeah, with these cultist types, you always have to just, you know, look through the actions and see what they mean, what they try, because they're just a bit clumsy in expressing themselves. So we know they're no, in their hearts they're really nice people. They wish me the best. They give me tons of good items and money. So, you know, they wouldn't do that if they didn't like me. Also, I got a feeling that there should be a boss or something here if they had an ornament chest. Okay, what did the thing exactly say? Reaping what you sow. Captain Somers determined to reconnect her forces with the bulk of the Legion to the north. Her scouts have uncovered the identity of the cult leader in the region, one by the name of Karroz, the Sigil of Cotton. He has entrenched himself at the Darkfell Gate, far north of Soros Bastion. Assassinate him. Right. So, let's just keep running, see if he's in the top corner over here. Lucius Bloodboil. Probably not the name he was born with. So where would I hide if I were the leader of the cult? It's one of the important questions of life, of course. Everett the Bloodbound. Not the guy we're looking for, but it's the guy we're gonna kill. And he dropped a Wormclaw offhand. I think that's also a rather common one. Yeah. I think I've had already 3 or so of those. But still, yet another signal the game is giving off that I need to play a caster at some point. I guess I'll have to do that as well at some point. But not quite yet. So, no boss to be found here. Presumably means we move on. I mean, the star was not located at the exit. That's the weird bit. Most of the time you kinda know what you're up against. What your expectations are. Here, not so much the case. That's becoming a proper hunt now, though. But let's put up a portal. Knock knock. Haven't been killed yet. let's make a bit more haste now.
That skill's not ready.
Fiend Blood Spellblade. That sounds like a pet-based blade. Presumably this is a dead end because it leads double back to the beginning. Yep. Okay. We run.
That skill's not ready.
Okay, nothing else in this room. Treasure box must loot, of course. We're building up a nice train of enemies behind us. They are a lot easier to kill when there's like half a dozen than if there's one or two. Due to the nature of all the AoE in our builds. Another avalanche notes. I think this is node 2 rather than node 3. So we're counting back in time.
That skill's not ready.
This looks pretty happy. Let's plop down our own portal as well. And have a look. Slowly start to recognize some things. That big pit I definitely recognize from somewhere. And hello there, Karroz.
I live only to serve the god.
Okay, let's do some spin to win. And a blade satchel. Okay. No, 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 no! Split! And he got angry.
I can't do that yet.
I wonder if this also happens if you feed him after midnight. So another of those shards in the back.
I can't
So
do
this
that.
is why you have a lot of vitality resistance. Otherwise it will hurt quite a bit. But still, I think it hurts him more than it hurts me. I remember this battle being rather
My energy is
frantic with my summoner. We killed him! Karroz is no more! And we get his chests. Karrozian Invoker, so one-handed scepter. Well, it's not a sword, so we don't care. Also, don't forget the loot room here. It has also a heroic chest. And then we can safely step outside. To the fort entrance. And then there better be a waypoint close. Yes. Some trolls. And suddenly everything is nice and snowy again. So, just gonna grab the waypoint. And we head back to Homestead this time. Have a chat with Captain Summer.
Why do you have such a grim look on your face? What happened out there?
Karroz lies dead, but I found some disturbing information on him.
Let's see it. I'll be damned. If the bastards pull this off, we may as well slit our own throats. This scenario is well beyond my pay grade, or would be if I were getting paid. You will need to bring this to Creed's attention immediately.
The Inquisitor?
I've already informed Creed of your recent actions. He is most eager to speak with you. Show him what you've shown me. He needs to see this.
I will do that.
You're here.
Inquisitor?
Good. We have much to discuss.
I found these notes on Karroz.
I've heard of this ritual. It has been performed only once before. If my memory serves me, the results were, shall we say, not good. The cult must not be allowed to see this through. We must make haste to Fort Icon at once. Will you join us? With
Why
the
do you need me to
cultist
go?
ranks scattered, we can once again reconnect with the main Legion force to the north, and just in time, too. Based on the information you've brought back from Karroz, we need to immediately send all available forces to the necropolis and stop that ritual. Ulgrim and I will be leaving shortly with a small contingent of troops. Will you meet us at Fort Icon? It lies just beyond the Asterkarn Mountains, through the Darkville gates.
See you there. Okay, so things are gonna go from bad to worse. But not right now. That's gonna be next episode. So thank you once again very much for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.